the S22 Ultra. This is the flagship from Samsung from 2 years ago, and I believe that this is still one of the best phones you can buy today. So, what makes this phone so special? Like, why do I think this phone is such a great thing to buy in 2024? Starting off with was the design, right? Every new Samsung phone, every new S series that's Ultra has the same design, right? Other than the curved display on this, which doesn't actually curve too much compared to previous year's 21 Ultra. It's a really nice curve. So some people may prefer that curve, some people may not, right? It's a preference thing. Other than that, the screen is nearly identical. 120 hertz LTPO display down to 1 hertz, right? It's got the 1700 nits of brightness, so it's amazing outdoors, right? You got that. And you got the same ultrasonic fingerprint scanners as the last year's model, and these year's S24 Ultras, right? So then we come to the rest of the design. Same design we all come and love. This is Samsung's best design in my opinion, and I don't think you can get any better than this. So this looks exactly like the S24 Ultra in just different colors, and except the back and the screen are kind of curved around the body. Other than that, the phone's dimensions are exactly the same. Weight might be a bit different, but it is pretty dang similar, right? And then we come to the second point, which is the specs. So, what powers this beast? Right, so my take is, actually, let me first get to what powers this, right? So we got Snapdragon's 8 Gen 1 processor in here, which paired with the 120 Hz screen, it is smooth like butter, right? Like, it is smooth. Like, if you look at that, if you look closely, that is a really smooth and responsive screen, right? And on top of that, it's a super AMOLED panel, and we're talking about Samsung here, right? So with these screens, with OLED, each pixel lights up on its own. Okay, so that means when it needs to go black, all the pixels just turn off. So it has a really, really good contrast ratio, and the blacks are inky black. Okay, so it's a perfect viewing experience. And then we come back to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Yeah, so this, alongside the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, comes with 128 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM on the base model. That's the base configuration. But even better, you can take this up to a whopping 1 terabyte of storage. Like, what in the world would you ever need this, right? So me personally, I don't need 1 terabyte of storage, but there's obviously the option for those who need it, okay? And then, even better, to pair that, you get 12 gigabytes of RAM. Like, that is insane, right? When do you need 12 gigabytes of RAM? 12 gigabytes of RAM? That is amazing. Like, by today's standards even, that is amazing. This is only a 2-year-old phone, right? This should not be slept on. This is an amazing phone. And I will tell you even more reasons why this is amazing, like, even better, okay? So, coming on to the next point, the battery, right? So we're talking about all these heavy specs, all these snappy fluid displays, right? But to power all that, you need a really big battery. And so what Samsung has done is they have put a 5,000 milliamp cell in this. That is a massive battery, right? This year's 24 Ultra has the same battery size. So other than maybe like the software efficiencies and the newer CPU's efficiencies, the battery is not too different. It's the same cell capacity, it's the same cell battery, right? So you can expect easily all day battery life, and it will still have battery left over by the end of the day. So this phone is really good if you're a heavy power user. If you use your phone a lot and you worry about battery, well, with this, you don't have to worry about battery anymore, right? This is big cell, big battery. It'll last you a long time. And paired with the 120 hertz LTPO display that can go all the way down to 1 hertz, that's even better, because when you're not using the screen, when the screen is not being like touched or anything, it's not taking any inputs, it can dial back its refresh down to 1 hertz to save even more battery. And it's paired with the OLED screen, right? So all these things help the phone push through the day, right? You are not going to notice this thing fall behind the battery. Now, let's move on to the coolest feature, I'd say, the S Pen. Like, imagine, right? You're talking with your friends, they have iPhones, they have Google Pixels, they have the rest of their phones, you know, whatever they're using, and then boom, you just pull out your phone and it has a whole pen. And this pen comes with zero compromises, right? There's literally zero compromise. you still have an amazing battery, and you get a whole pen, and it doesn't take anything away from the phone. It only adds to the phone. So everyone might not need it, but for those who need it, it's there. And it's sometimes when I'm signing signatures and stuff, it is really, really useful. Like, I really find this thing helpful in a lot of cases. Right? You might not be using this 24/7 if you're a normal user, but it is handy when it comes, like, when you need it. It is really handy. Now, let's move on to the most important factor, what people consider the most important, is the cameras. It's one of the most important selling points of this phone. So to start things off, actually, this camera here, entire camera system, 100x zooms. Like, can you believe that? That is 100 times zoom. That is insane. Like, that is crazy. You are not gonna find that in most phones. Only in the S series, Samsung S series, or maybe some, the other phone brand, maybe less heard of, you're gonna find this level of zoom. This is extremely insane zoom. Okay, and on top of that, the main shooter, 108 megapixels. Like, that is insane. 108 megapixels. Do you really need that in a smartphone camera? That's insane. Like, this is really good, right? Even by today's standards, most phones do not come with 108 megapixels. And this sensor is amazing. Like, I can assure you, when you put in 108 megapixels, sure, it's gonna take longer to take that photo, but when you get that photo, the amount of detail that photo has in there is like extremely good. Like, coming from a phone is extremely good. And then over here, you have the 0.6 wide zoom, right? You have the wide, the main camera, and the telephoto camera, right? And then you have the 3x telephoto, 10x telephoto, which these two work together to make the 100x zoom that you have. Now, moving on. You're buying a secondhand phone. Sorry, I shouldn't say secondhand. You could be buying a secondhand phone, but you're buying a phone that's 2 years old, right? It's not being sold anymore directly from the manufacturer. You're buying a phone like that. What are you expecting software-wise? Okay, so I think that's one of the most major things for people. That's like kind of like, should I really get this phone or not? That's where this comes into play. Samsung has actually given this 4 years of software update plus another extra year for security updates. So currently this phone sits at Android 14. Okay, and it starts off with, I think, Android 12. So it's on Android 14 now, and this will take you all the way to Android 16. Right now it's at Android 14. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for you as the end user? Right now you're getting all the new AI features, most of the new AI features, right? And you will keep continuing getting a lot of new Android features, right? It's gonna keep going, and you're gonna enjoy a plethora of new features. Depends on what Android 15 and 16 come with. So you, software-wise, you're set for that for the next few years. And even after those software updates are over, this is still gonna be a rock solid phone. So this can take you even more than that if you want, even more usage if you want after that, right? If you don't plan to upgrade. And then you get 1 more year of security updates. So then you have the 1 more year of, ease, knowing that your phone is secure, right? It's not gonna get like compromised or anything. So, final verdict of this phone, I think this phone is amazing. It is literally the phone to go for. Like, if you don't want to spend $1,000 on a brand new phone, but you still want that brand new, but you still want, sorry, Bixby activated there. I was holding the side button. You have $1,000, right? You have $1,000, but you don't want to spend it all on a flagship phone, but you still want all the flagship features. This is the flagship to go for. The 2 years old S22 Ultra. Beautiful phone. Very similar design that hasn't changed much throughout the years. Very similar specs that haven't changed much throughout the years. And a very, very, very nice usage. This phone, if you plan on getting this for your games, it'll easily scroll through your TikToks, whatever. No worries at all. And it'll easily run some of your heaviest games you throw at it. Most of your heaviest games you throw at it. All your heaviest games you throw at it, you could say. So this phone is a beast. It's a champ. And I think that this is easily, you should rate this. You should consider buying this phone. So again, if you don't want to spend $1,000 on a new phone, just buy this beast. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a sub, and please consider leaving a like, subscribe, comment down, and I will be making more content like this in the future. So if you ever want some content, you can also comment it down. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Thank you.